that structure there, the shape and all of that, it's so familiar for everyone. Actually still working, look at that. All of these levers, they, look at that, if you turn one, you turn the other. Wow, the original writing is still there, and that's the emergency exit. It's a 303, you got more? Very, very nice. So you come to this passway, that's about 8 meters long. This is very strange. In the middle of absolutely nowhere, pieces of coal. Where the heck does this place lead to? Oh yes, that's what it's all about. We together go out, we do the research, we do the travels, we take you to locations that you've never seen before, we share great material. All you have to do is sit back, click that play button, and you can learn and have fun with us. Today it's going to be a little opportunity for us to give back to all of you kind supporters who are supporting our work. You can check that out if you want to. You can become either a Patreon team member. You can check out the link in the video description. Just click that. There's a lot of perks for your eyes only videos and restoration projects, travel vlogs, and there's going to be more for sure. Also, if you want to take part in the PayPal donation draws, we have some beautiful things every month for those as well. So everybody will leave with something very special from our explorers. Every month I create some beautiful WW2 dioramas with authentic pieces from the Second World War, many of them from the locations that we go to. You might remember the 20mm cartridge that we found at the German U-boat harbor with the Fifish V6S ROV. And this is a restoration project that's been available for the PayPal donators for the draws of that. So you can understand we do take pride in what we do. We do a lot of time working on these dioramas, putting them together, and also to find very interesting pieces for you to be the future keeper of, because we have a motto: history is everywhere, and we want history to be everywhere by giving you the opportunity to have some of these, and it's exclusive for my supporters either on Patreon or PayPal. Today we're going to have a little talk about and see some small news, and I'm going to surprise you with a couple of small things here. First, before we continue, I want to say a massive thank you to some individuals who are our team. I call them my officers and generals. So first I want to say a massive thank you to Alfred, Daniel, William, Nick, Grant, Tom, Cynthia, Paul, and Civil Defense. You are our officers. Thank you for your great support to the team. Couldn't have done much of what you see without great people like you. So we're going to go over to the 3-star generals. I want to say thank you to Daniel, Rob, Matt, and Oma. We have some 4-star generals: Michael, Laura, Emil, and Dennis. And then we have 5-star general Vintage Speedwork. I'm going to round it off with the Wall of Honor, and that is thanks to Maddie, Roy, and Jess, and all the others on my team that we can actually go out and do this. So the more people who support us, the better we have the opportunity to go out and do great things. I don't believe it. We have to climb through there. Holy cow. This piece I'm going to show you here now is awesome. See that? That's, I think it is, used to be, we call them panzer doors. I know they're not panzer doors, but they are heavy duty doors. See the valve there? Just want to show you a couple of things here. This is something that Robert sent me. He's one of our faithful supporters on Patreon for a very long time. He colorized these drawings, and that is so cool. I really immediately kind of felt attached to the scenes and what plays out there. And also, Robert, what you did, you actually inspired my son to wanting to have some coloring books and to do this. And he said he wanted to look exactly as well or as good as yours. So thank you for letting him see that, and thank you for sharing with all of us out there, because even though they're just drawings that you colorize, they're so kind of real, and it tells its story just by itself. Yes, that's what it's all about. Now, let's go to the draw of some of the dioramas here for my Patreon team members. So each and every month I create something beautiful for those who choose to become Patreon team member, or I also pass on to existing team members. I do this every month. So we have some new Patreon team members in January. I want to say thank you to Darren, Donald, Tim, Rob, KJ, Regan, Mats, and Asatut Ari. Hope I said that correct. There are different kind of perks of and different levels. So when you check in the Patreon thing, check it out. And if you want to have the kind of top-notch possibility of what's available for those who support us, well, the highest ranking officers and Wall of Honor individuals will actually have the opportunity to come along with us on the Explore. So I think that's a really good perk for those who want to stay in there for the long run. So Roy has already gotten his invitation and I'm working myself way down on the list, but we have something called COVID crap destroying a lot of the things that we're going to do, but it seems like we're going to be able to start up again on that. All right, we have this first one here. German World War II postage stamp, 1942, 12 Pfennig. Beautiful little thing there, authentic with the stamp, and that's going to go to one person. That is the welcome as team member diorama draw, and that goes to Mats. Thank you, Mats, for joining the team. Together we will all discover history in a very special way. And I want to say thank you for becoming a Patreon team member. It really enables us to go out and do more. So check it out if you want to. Now, let's look at a little bit different thing here. Just a little quick info. You've probably seen the last or the 3 episodes where we find the trash pile of the German Luftwaffe High Command bunker area. I'm going to put together 3 compiles, 3 kits like of the pieces that you saw, and it's going to be maybe a bottle, maybe a fork or spoon, something like that, 3 piece sets, and then we're going to do something really cool. So it's going to be available for the Patreon team members. Really loved that dig, and you can see in part 1, 2, 3 we find lots of pieces, and Eagle Eyes, he was so eager to go there the 3rd time as well, and we also found something very interesting there, so that's going to be cool to show you later. But as I said in that video, I want history to be out there, so there's no point of us to have all of these pieces, so we're actually going to pass them on to you. And but you have to see that perhaps in next month. I'll see if I'll be able to arrange that, because I'm figuring out how to ship bottles without being ruined by the freight cost, and how to make sure that they will arrive in pristine condition. So I'm kind of working on that. So, but just look out for that. And as I said, I keep my promises. They will end up with you. Make no mistake about that. That structure there, the shape and all of that, it's so familiar for everyone.
That is a firing control bunker.
That's a firing control bunker, and it's so iconic.
It's big.
Yeah, it's very big, and everybody can recognize it and kind of know, oh, there's something that the Germans made. Right there in the surface, another MG mouse around. I'm loving this place. It is so detailed. There are so many things, and to find the mouse, to find the 20mm Olicon, to find the 20mm German stuff from the Flak 38, and then finding the 303s from the Allies draping in. What a historical cool place. Oh yes, that's just a little piece of all the stuff we have in store for you, and I hope you really take part and join us. We have a couple of smaller dioramas here. This is a Third Reich Daily Life Zigarettenkarten theme card. That is a card that the soldiers could collect, even put in albums, and they can sit in the barracks. So almost I wanted to say sit in a tank and exchange the different kind of images there. So they are pretty cool. They're authentic, and very glad someone will have those as a little memory of what we do together. This one goes to Neil. You know who you are. Just send me your address on Patreon if you haven't already put it in there. And also this one goes to Robert. Thank you both for joining us on the Patreon team, and you have been in there for quite a long time, so we greatly appreciate that. Yep, and it doesn't stop there. I can promise you, we are working very hard to present you some very, very unique adventures. And it's going to be very exciting to actually have some of you coming along and doing some of the future explores and adventures. Well, 3 more. Have this is a very classical thing. These machine gun belt pieces and the cartridge was found on the eastern front east of Berlin, so I actually made 2 of them this time. And then we have this. It's a very special thing. It's a German World War II U-boat 20mm cartridge found in a harbor where the German submarines hid away, trying to get away from the Allied bomb raids. So let me see. This one goes to Ronald. Thank you for your very, very kind support. And this one goes to Jesse. Hope this is in focus because this camera's been acting up lately. And then we have this one, Brian. You see who you are? Please let me again say to all my Patreon team members, please go into your kind of personal page, whatever you could call it, on Patreon and put your address in there. I have to stress this because a lot of you are registered as Patreon team members, but you haven't informed Patreon of your address, because I really want to send out more surprises to you, because I'm going to include that in some of the videos. So I'm going to do a little surprise every now and then, and you're going to receive pieces, but I need your address because I cannot first mail you and say, oh, I'm going to send you a little surprise. Can you send me your address? And so I need it in beforehand so you can get it, and then we'll take it from there. All right, let's continue. Both Eagle Eyes and Bunker Buster Girl have joined me in some pretty cool small adventures, and we're going to show that later. This is something that I really enjoy doing. This is going to be the Patron of the Month diorama. I will kind of, on my own decision, find someone who I think would deserve a little special something extra this month of January. I have decided who will get that. This is something that I just feel is a little bit symbolic. It's just a couple of German boot irons. It's the toe piece that you can see here, which is just 2 pieces of metal, but they are very unique because these are original, never ever issued or used boot irons. That was actually, I got hold of them from a stockpile that was discovered when they tried to tear down a horse near a stable, and this turned out to be the German stack away storage for different kind of things, and I was very lucky to get hold of these, and they're brand new, never be used, so really love that. But they're kind of a symbol of just the small details that actually gives us the fuller picture. So, well, it's just kind of like a little piece of iron, but if you go in a battlefield situation, you go out with a metal detector and find that, boom, you know for sure that the German soldiers were there. So I think they speak like 1,000 words just by themselves, but they're also a symbol of the minute, tiny, small details that are pieces of the big puzzle of the Second World War, and I just love that. So this month I want to give this to a person which is always smiling, which is always generous with her smiles and positive comments. So Cynthia, thank you for being on the team. And I would say you are now officially the patron of the month of January. And I hope you really, really enjoy this little symbolic piece of you being a part of the team and us going out doing all the work, and you can have this as a little momentum of the. You're always so kind to us. You're always smiling in your comments, and I'm just overwhelmed with your kindness. So thank you, and congratulations of being patron of the month of January. Just a quick little update for all of you regarding Laura the camper van. We have been able to do some preparation work and make it fully, completely ready for this season. It's been such a terrible weather lately that it's been almost impossible to do anything, but we had a chance to stay inside a huge garage, and we managed to do the most important things, and it is going to be absolutely fully ready for going exploring. And we're going to take you behind the scenes. You're going to see some of that later. And also it's needed because our projects pile are really huge this year, and I'm so excited to see how much we can actually go out and do. But the COVID and the Omicron and all of that crap is starting to let off now, and maybe within 3-4 weeks almost all of Europe would be kind of free for travel, and then it's going to be really exciting to bring you on our trips. And the Patreon team members will have a lot of your eyes only video material that you can see from our travels, and they will have some special only them or that only they can see, and that's some of the perks for those who decide to become a team member. Then there are suddenly all kinds of things up here. And this could be the what we call the local fire and control little turret. Yeah, communication cables, telephone, all of that would be arranged here. That little slot was to give commandos out to the crews. Yep, we have something from the Allied coming in. 50 caliber, yeah.
Where can you see 50 caliber?
1943, and is it PRA? RA? Remington Arms. Yes, indeed. We can't wait to share that with you. It's going to be so exciting. Well, let's go over to the next little thing here. We have every month, we give the opportunity for people who want to donate something to our PayPal thing so we can continue to do our work. We just choose the 2 highest donations, and we make sure we have a couple of great items for them to be the future keeper of. So this thing here, you do remember that. It's the Gestapo SS fire axe found in the basement of a Gestapo headquarters. It was under a staircase actually, and we restored it, and it looked pretty beautiful. It's also going to come with this thing here, which is pretty special. It's a Pioneer Service money belt. These were issued to the troops going on the Normandy beaches. There will be a name here, and these are pockets for different kinds of currencies. So they got French francs perhaps, and money from the Netherlands, or maybe Reichsmark, I don't know. But this is a very special thing. It's a never issued, was never used, from a storage that I actually have a friend who got the hold of, and that's going to be a part of that. Then we have this fabulous Junker JU88 aircraft bracket. This is one of the first pieces that we found. It's got the parts number and everything. We don't want to mess around with it. It's totally authentic, just cleaned up, and very interesting thing. And that is going to go along nicely with this little model of a Junker JU88. Excuse me if there are some issues with the focusing thing on the camera here, because we've been acting up lately. So these are the 2 sets. So what I do, I'll just choose the 2 highest donations, and we'll pass these beautiful artifacts on to you. So I want to say a massive thank you to Martin, Antoinette, Brian, Donald, Laura, Kate, and Jonathan. But the 2 top donations, as I said, will take away these things. And we have Laura and Donald, who are the highest donating individuals for this month. And this is now yours, Donald. Greatly appreciate your incredible support, and your PayPal donations enables us tremendously to do even more. And Laura, I think you actually mentioned that you had a aviation kind of interested individual in your family. Hope this piece here can be interesting to dig into, and check out the Junkers JU88 history. That'll be fun to learn something from. But thank you so very much for your incredible kind donations. And next month we have something really cool. So let's have a look at that. All right, this is what's up for grab. For those who want to we got a little donation on the PayPal thing. Keep us going. Have 2 batches of something really, really interesting. We have a Deutsche Luftwelt 1938 magazine. Very interesting, authentic, black and white. Absolutely stunning material to read up on there. You can really be fascinated by the different content, the different kind of content in there. You have a Deutsche Jugend Kriegsbücherei. Wir jagen U-Boot. It's absolutely amazing. It's a small little literature for the Jugend, or the youth of the Third Reich. Absolutely amazing to see the pictures inside and the drawings and what the context and content is. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not glorifying this in no way, if you understand what I mean. This is nothing political for me. This is just pieces of the history that speaks to us, and I really kind of take interest in the written material from the Second World War. And we also do some talkabouts and walkabouts and paperwork walkabouts or talkabouts behind the scenes with the patrons, and they can take part in what's inside of these, and it's absolutely amazing to see what these booklets contain of information for that time frame. I'm going to have a felt post stamped. I'm going to have a couple of Zigarettenkarten stamps with the date and everything. K98 cartridge, a couple of shoe irons, and a Red Cross Rull- und Kompresse. It's like a first aid kit, or kind of compress, and it's marked 1940. Is that cool or what? So we have 2 of these batches. We have one here and this one. So something you kind of would like a chance of being the future keeper of, well, give us a donation, and who knows, you might end up with a little cool collection of something very, very rare. Just go out and see if you can find this. I promise you that's going to be very, very difficult, but I will actually pass it on to you, because when you decide to support our work, I will do my utmost to make sure that history will be out there. So there will be a link in the video description for that as well. Check it out if you want to. If not, we're happy anyway that you're here. Wow, there's so much thing we're going to share with you, and it's thanks to all of you out there subscribing, commenting, watching. Of course, the supporters, the team has History Hunter team members, and the PayPal donators. You are the guys and girls to make it even more easy to go out and do this, and we really work hard for it. But I want to say something in the very end here. Every time I see some of you doing something special for us just by being a regular viewer, I almost get tears in my eyes. And there's a gentleman that has been watching the last couple of months. I think he's been watching like 200 of our videos, because I've been looking in the comments and I've been kind of following up on what he's doing. So I want to give something to a gentleman here today, because it's such an honor to see that you take interest, to see more than I think we're coming up to about 150, 180 of our videos you've seen in the last 2 months, and that is very, very greatly appreciated. So you walked a lot of miles, you walked a lot of minutes in the videos, and you comment. So I want to say thank you to you. And you don't know this, but James, you have done so much for us by being just a regular viewer. To watch over 150 of our videos in 2 months, that is amazing, man. I'm absolutely flabbergasted by that. Thank you for doing that. Send us your address and I'll be glad to ship that out to you as a little token of our appreciation of doing what you do. Thank you. So James, he's one regular viewer, subscriber, commenter, and you all are. And I keep very close attention to people who help us out in that way. You don't have to become a patron team member. You don't have to donate to our work. You can do whatever you like, but we do appreciate if people kind of appreciate what we do, but just giving us a thumbs up, giving us a little comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's all it takes. But we have done hundreds of videos, 320, 30 videos now, and we strive very hard to go out in this these days of the competition of the copy paste world out there, there are hundreds of channels who only do one thing. They copy paste, read out of books, and somehow they manage to get millions of views on every video and all of that. I'm sorry, we're not there. We're not kind of doing that. We are nitty gritty people, real people going out there. Me and Eagle Eyes, just a young man, going out doing this all by ourselves. We don't have a professional team doing the stuff in the backgrounds or anything like that. Every time we do something, it's totally done by only 3 person, myself, Bunker Buster Girl, my daughter, and Eagle Eyes, my son. That's the whole difference. I don't have a PR team or professional people doing this. As I said, it's only us and you who are the most important part of this, because you can learn from this. You take part in history in a very special way, and we share it with you. So every time we go out there, I always think one thing, that is, you are just next to us, you're just behind our back, seeing the same things, and that's what drives us on. So by the kind donations and the great team we have, we can actually do even more. And if people like James do what they do, you know, watch so many of our videos, comment, leave a comment, and watch them in full time or full length, it really, really helps out. We will never be able to beat that algorithm and get millions of views on each videos that the professional people do, but at least we do share history in a very special way, and I'm greatly, greatly appreciative of that. With those words, hope you enjoyed this little blah 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 from me. There will be so much stuff coming up, as you've seen. Hope you enjoy it, and until next time, please stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll definitely see you out there.